Welcome back to the common room on Unicast. That was the Archie's Sugar Sugar.
Sugar, sugar, do 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 do. Don't tax the sugar, do 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 do. You're my candy girl, and I'm feeling wanting you. Yeah, I'm singing about you, Brayden. I'm feeling wanting you.
No, you're not. No, you're not. I'm actually disturbed by that. Ashleigh, well, it's fair to say that we're big video game fans, aren't we?
I love computer games. It's so much fun.
Which is bringing us to the next topic, vintage video games.
From the olden days. Pew, pew, pew.
Why have you brought this one up, mate?
Well, they've recently brought out all these old Nintendo 64 classics. Ah, so exciting.
Yeah, and it's not just 64, they've had SNES ones as well, and
all the classic vintage ones. Ah,
I mean, this isn't really a new invention. Let's be honest. Remastering has been around for a while.
Yeah, and they've brought out quite a lot in the last few years. It's like they're out of ideas.
Well, that's always the question when you get a vintage video game: is you got to pick a real classic for it to actually sell, and you got to pick. Would you say how old it has to be? It has to be the right age.
It has to be old enough for the people who played it as kids want to replay it, but as adults.
Yeah, that's the big thing. And then you got to decide: are you going to do a full remaster, or are you just going to emulate it essentially on a new console?
There's nothing worse than just an emulate, and they haven't actually done anything to it. The amount of times Final Fantasy VII's come out, and it's literally no different. It's ridiculous.
It's not just them. We're not singling them out.
Oh, and you couldn't even put in names. You couldn't put in custom names. It's taken away features from it.
Now, what really annoys me is when you get a old video game and they're remastering and they don't even make it full screen.
Oh, you gotta upgrade it from 4:3 to 16:9. It's gotta fit on the screen. I don't want the black lines of boring.
Well, and change the camera angles. I mean, firing out some of the cameras back in 1997. Respectable for when they were in 1997, 96, whatever year that they were made. These days, a little old.
Oh yeah, because those were back in the time that you didn't have two joysticks even. Sometimes there were ones that you had to push a button to change the camera.
Yeah, like
angle.
on the Nintendo 64, how you had the
64, you had the C buttons, and you had to use them to change the angle, or it would auto do it. And auto is never in the right spot. I tell you what.
No, it really isn't. I hate it because sometimes you'll see behind your character and there's a wall in front, and they'll decide, well, they obviously want to see two walls at the same time.
No.
I want to see inside.
Or you get that spot and you're just seeing like the gap in the world, like the inverse of the world.
Oh, no, when you've got that undeveloped bit of the game.
Yeah, and you're stuck in like the in-between, and it's just like glitchy and awful.
Well, that's why I was always confused whether in Borderlands, I think it's kind of a good way of doing it. Whenever you go to an area like that, it's just like warning, you will be killed instantly.
It's great when they do in-game things for that, or you don't have the memory for this. Ooh.
Yeah, I think that was a good opportunity taken there by Borderlands. But anyway, back to vintage video games. Name me some of your favourite vintage video games. Let's go back in time. Where were you at?
Well, my big one that I played all the time when I was little was Banjo-Tooie.
Banjo-Tooie?
Banjo-Tooie. Better than Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie. It was an awesome game. It had a bear, it had a bird. They went on crazy adventures. What more do you want? At one point, you turned into a washing machine and cleaned people's underwear. That was a mission.
It is crazy, some of the missions that you do get.
I got myself a jiggy for that.
I'm going back to GoldenEye.
Oh, GoldenEye on the
original.
Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
That broke up a lot of friendship groups, I think.
Oh, when you got the golden gun.
Oh,
Run.
crazy.
That's the only thing you can do.
The 64 did a lot of gun games on it, and they were all very good for the time.
Operation Winback was very good for that time as well. Have you ever played that?
No, I haven't played that one.
I really recommend that. It's basically it had a great story, tried some new different things. Very good shooter for its time. I've also got some others here for the 64. Conker's Bad Fur Day. Did you ever play that?
Oh, that was the game that everyone wanted to play, but I wasn't allowed a copy, so I'd have to go around a friend's house and play it. And you got to Wii on people and they died.
I still have it. For a long time, my father wouldn't let me play it for obvious reasons. But I just like it was one of the... It's not the first, but you say one of the first adult games on the Nintendo, would you say?
It's like the first game that I was exposed to that was definitely for adults rather than for kids.
Remember the Great Giant Poo?
He had a song. Great game. Why don't they bring more games like that out?
Donkey Kong 64. I know I'm naming all Nintendo 64 games, but there's some classics. Did you ever play Donkey Kong 64?
Yeah, it was very repetitive from memory. I think I got bored of it.
What? Donkey Kong 64? That's the adventure. Not like, I mean, I can understand Donkey Kong Country maybe getting repetitive, but 64 is that open world one.
No, I think it was a bit repetitive for me.
Well, finding the bananas and throwing them to the hippo.
Yeah, pretty much.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it, and I still love the DK rap at the start.
Oh, that is a classic rap. I play it for that. I play it for the DK. Donkey Kong. I bet there's people out here who don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, no one. But there's still like classic moments that you can have all those different characters. Like Lanky was just the craziest.
Yeah,
it was the craziest, and I just love Chunky. That was just you can't jump. What was it? You can't jump high. You can't. He was a can't high. You can't move fast. But this Kong's one hell of a guy.
Yeah, just barrels through people.
Yeah. Loved it. Also, some other classics. Man, I've gone mainly to Nintendo here. Super Mario All-Stars. I had the Lost Levels. Have you ever played that?
No.
That is so hard. Basically, Mario, they decided, let's give Mario some shoes that are clearly made of ice. You can never stop in time. And some of those jumps, you had to be dead set perfect.
There's nothing more frustrating. Nothing more frustrating than like ice levels or ones where you got slippery character feet.
Yeah. Oh,
or when you got
so
those
angry.
floating shoes and Ocarina of Time on, and you just try and make it, and you go, "Oh wait, I forgot I got the slippery shoes," and you just walk off the cliff, and you're like, "Yep, great, okay, I've died again. That's great."
I've got Worms in here. Did you ever play that?
Oh, I remember Earthworm Jim or Worms.
Like Worms, the war game where you'd basically blow the crap out, like Worms with bazookas. Whoever thought of that was a genius.
Crazy. I remember Earthworm Jim, and he like literally would pull himself out of his suit and like flick himself at people. Weird concepts.
Yeah, Lemmings?
No, I haven't played that one.
Oh, really? Really? It was just this great game. We had to get them from point A to point B in the weirdest possible ways. Where these little guys would like fall off cliffs. Sometimes you can get them to stop, jump, do all these cool little moves. What other classics? SimCity. I actually preferred SimCity more than The Sims.
SimCity 2000.
Yeah, good times. Good times.
I love that one.
Also,
and you know what? I'm gonna say it. I think it's better that one than the one that came out 7 years ago, the new one, which was completely like online. Oh, it's so annoying. And you spend so much on these EA games. It's ridiculous.
You do spend. I mean, I'm not a fan of ones that you have to pay to.
And then you have to be on the internet the whole time you're playing.
It's like World of Warcraft in that situation. The fee that you have to pay for some of those games.
The subscription.
It's a bit extravagant.
Well, at least with World of Warcraft, it makes sense that you're online.
Yeah,
you're building your own city. Why have I got to be online?
It's a good point. Yeah, I guess because it's an MMO. It's an interesting debate. Maybe we'll have that debate one day. Also, I have got in here some classic PlayStation games. Crash Bandicoot, of course.
That is so hard. If you've gone back and played the original Crash Bandicoot, it is so hard and so frustrating because if you're like pixels out, you're burnt to death and you die.
I was also lucky enough to have some originals, so like Space Invaders and Pac-Man.
Classics.
Classic, absolute classic. Joust was a really good one too. But I really loved as a kid Rampage. Did you ever play Rampage?
No, which one's Rampage?
The one with the gorilla, the wolf, and the lizard, where you go around smashing buildings. Do you remember that one?
I've never heard of that one.
They made it into a movie. Remember, they made it a very loosely based movie, not really based around the game at all.
What, about a lizard that bashes a...
Yeah, so basically you climb up buildings, right, and you smash the crap out of them and they all fall down. You can get gained health by eating people and stuff like that. And if you like hit fire, it'd burn the building down for you so it's quicker, and tanks come after you and you smash tanks, attack helicopters.
This sounds like a fever dream you've had.
I'm not! I'm showing you this in the break now.
All right. Show me. I remember the classic Street Fighter games. Remember those?
Yeah, I was more of a Tekken player. I'll be honest.
Really?
Devil Jin. I mean, far out. You could murder people with him.
My wife is the best at any of those Street Fighter games.
Does she just obliterate the buttons?
She obliterates the buttons and she wins every time. And I'm trying to do like combos and stuff. Like, yeah, I'm really cool. And it never works because smashing the buttons always wins. I'm going to say that now.
Well, it reminds me of the Wii Sports Resort. Do you remember the sword fighting?
Oh yeah, that was awesome. I love doing that.
I would be trying to do like blocks and everything and smart moves. My sister's like, I'm just basically gonna have a fit with the controller, go nuts with it, and absolutely obliterate me. And that it did.
And that is the reason why they put straps on the Wii controller.
Oh, I almost put one through the roof one time.
I can believe it.
It was during bowling.
Oh, that's the lamest one to get it through the roof.
I know. I just was a young kid, wanted to give it some power, and yeah, whack. It was like pinballs, bang, bang, bang.
I don't think I've ever got like a volley going with the tennis one.
Did you just?
I don't think I've ever managed it to go past like I hit it to you, they hit it back. Oh no, it's gone out again. We were bad at tennis.
Did you ever find the secret way to get a strike in the bowling, where you balanced it on the little guardrail and hit the button at the back?
No. What's
Guess
that?
what Ashleigh's doing tonight?
I'm gonna pull out a
Can't remember if it was
Wii
Wii Sports
somewhere.
or Wii Sports Resort, but it's hard, but you can do it. Also, try and get a 300 game. I've been able to do it twice for bowling on 300.
Wow, impressive. If only those skills were transferable to
In
something
real
else.
life.
I know.
What was also really weird about Wii Sports Resort is that you could fly this little plane and you had to like find all the points of. I wouldn't really call it a sport. You basically had to find a point of interest. Just didn't quite understand that.
It's a bit sad.
It's a good game though.
You know what was a good one though? Pokemon Snap on
Yes,
Nintendo 64.
yes,
An actual photography game. They haven't had enough photography
Games.
games. It's like the only photography game I can think of. And how much better would it be with graphics these days and the amount of memory and stuff you could get in the AI?
Well, obviously, we're going to have to come back to something.
Oh.
We're running a little bit over.
Oh, the nostalgia. I feel it flooding over me.
But if you want to get in contact with us, give us a message. What was your favourite vintage video games? Were you a Gallagher person, maybe? Or something like that. There is a lot to pick from. Were you on the Atari with these days?
Oh, we hardly even mentioned the Atari or Sega or any of
We're
those
gonna have to come back to it.
We'll put a pin in this and we'll come back to it one later day.
Yeah, we'll come back to us and we can
The
create.
youngsters don't
We can create a list, like the top 20 maybe or top 15. Like that idea?
Yeah, I like it.
We'll get back to it because we're way over time. But anyway, it's time for a break. You are listening to The Common Room on Unicast.
That's the snake.
That's the lizard. That's the gorilla. Ralph.